So काकस्य किं भवति तस्य बहु दाहः भवति दाहः thirst or the other words I said. Which are the other words? Did you get them? Alternate words for daha. Will anyone get them? Oh, no. What are the alternate words for daha? Trishna or pipasa. Pipasa is more famous, right? Pipasa bhavati means thirst. Wanting to drink is pipasa. Saha jalam ichhati. सः घटस्य समीपे आगच्छति सः कः सः काकः काकः किम् इच्छति जलम् इच्छति सः घटस्य समीपे आगच्छति कुत्र आगच्छति समीपे कस्य समीपे घटस्य समीपे सः घटे किञ्चित् जलं पश्यति सः घटे जलं पश्यति No, I can ask the question. Ghate kiyat jalam asti? What is the answer? Kiyat jalam asti?
Kinchit.
Kinchit jalam asti. So you remember we did the kiyat. Kiyat is how much? Jalam pashyati. Kati means how many? That we did that. Kiyat kati. Kakah ekam upayam chintayati. Kakah kim karoti ekam upayam chintayati. Kim chintayati ekam upayam. Saha shilakhandan anayati. सः कान् आनयति शिलाखण्डान् आनयति सः शिलाखण्डान् कुत्र स्थापयति घटे स्थापयति सः जलं प्राप्नोति किं प्राप्नोति जलं प्राप्नोति अनन्तरं काकः किं पिबति जलं पिबति Now the underlined words here rekhankita padani means underlined words bhutakala रूपे परिवर्तनं करोतु भूतकाल रूपम् इत्युक्ते now some answer sheets I saw the actual bhutakala means lang lakara rupam like agacchati means agachat which is correct. Now this was more like what we studied using the bhuta kridanta rupam. Now for kaka asti and bhavati we are not using the bhuta kridanta rupam which is bhutavan. We are just using the langlakara rupam which is abhavat. For asti also we are using a bhavat. For bhavati also we are using a bhavat. So if you look at the that table which was there. This table of verb forms. So here where is the bhuta kridanta rupam? Here in V, W, X, Y, Z, A, A. So these kind of words are expected there, bhuta kridanta rupam, which are like used as visheshanam. So asti bhavati will not use like this bhutavat. If you are written bhutavat, which is not exactly incorrect, but they are not used like that. Ekah kakah bhutavat is not used like that, because as I tried to explain in the last week, these namaskara.
Namaskara, Sanjuji. Namaskara, everyone.
Yeah, so as I explained last week, these are basically Visheshanam, correct? And not exactly real Bhutakala as such. So with these actual Visheshanam, there is a possibility we can actually use the another, or we can assume when we say, for example, Saha Ghatasya Samipe Agachati. So in this one, if we turn into Bhuta Kridanta, what will it become? Agatavan. Because there is a Saha. Saha is a Pullinga Shabda. So Ghatasya Samipe, we get the Agatavan here. Now, because it is Agatavan, which is a Visheshanam, we can assume the Asti or Asit or Bhavishyati also as a Kriyapadam here actually. But since we want to put this or want to read this story, a sentence, in Bhutakala, so we can just say Saha Ghatasya Samipe Agatavan, we can say Asit, so that can be assumed. Now, there you see the where we say Asit, right? That can be assumed. So if you start with Ekah Kakah Asti, so there if you make it Bhutavan, we can't put the actually Bhutavan Asti, Bhutavan Asit, so it doesn't make sense because Bhutavan itself is the Bhuta Kridanta Rupa of Asti or Asit. So it doesn't make sense. So we just use the Langlakar Rupa of Asti. So we use Ekah Kakah Asit here. And then it becomes Tasya Bahudaha Abhavat. So for Asti and Bhavati, we use this Abhavat, which was shown here. So then you have to go to Langlakara column there. Then you can see Abhavat for us. And I think there is a Bhu also at the bottom somewhere. Where is the Langlakara? Here, Asit. So here Asit is there, and Abhavat also should be somewhere down there. It's not there here. Here, Bhu. 36, Bhu, Abhavat. Anyway, so you can look up and do that. And then Saha Ghate Kinchit Jalam here becomes Pashyati, becomes Drishtavan, which I have taken here. I have opened Jaya Mahodayasya Grahabhyasa. I have just for the sample. Some of them are need corrections here, like Ekah Kakaha Asit. We don't want to use Bhutavat. Think that again, as I said, think that wherever these are, because these are actually Visheshanam, we can put Asit or Asti after this. So, Saha Jalam Ishtavan Asit. So, here again, you try to use this Langlakara, which is okay, but we are expecting as the homework here, these kind of Bhuta Kridanta Rupam. Saha Jalam Ishtavan. Saha Ghatasya Samipe Agatavan. Ghate Kinchit Jalam Drishtavan. Now here, Kakahe Ekam Upayam. So what happened here? Why is it Chintavan? What does the table say? It should be in the book also, right? Chinta.
Chintitavan.
Yeah, Chintitavan. It is not in the table here. Okay. But you can look at similar verb, which is like a presh here, or puj. Puj. So here the VXW here, you see pujitavan. So because it's for puj, the Vartamana Kala, that is in column me, you see pujayati. This is the present tense. Pujayati. So chintayati is also like this. So that's why we want to convert or use this form, Bhuta Kridanta, in the similar format, like Pujitavan, Chintitavan. Kakaha ekam upayam Chintitavan, Saha Shalakhandan Anitavan. Correct. Now here also, you see here it is done correctly. Sthapitavan. Similarly, we want Chintitavan here. Saha Shalakhandan Ghate Chintitavan. Saha Jalam Praptavan. Correct. Now here Kakaha Jalam Pitavan. Here we want the Dirghai. Pitavan. You can again refer to, I think it's in the table, right? Pa. If you like pa here, to drink, so here it becomes Pitavan. Dirghai. Okay. Now, next one. Geetavan. Correct. Gayati Geetavan. Balika Sangeetam Shrutavati. Right. Sarvatra Shtihi Abhavat. Harinaha Vatsam. Now here Ahayati is the word there. So what will it become? Here if you see row number 8. Ahutavan. Ahutavan. Then Simhaha Vane Upavishtavan. Correct. Nartaki Mandiram Pravishhtavati. Pravishhtavati is correct. I mean, we don't want to look. I mean, this is not correct, but we're not going to discuss that now. Chhatraha pustakam patitavan. Bhavan karyalayam gatavan kim. Bhavati. Here we want dirghai, right? Bhavati bhojanam. Now here pach is the dhatu there, right? What is the correct word? Anyone knows here? Anybody?
Pakvavati.
Pakvavati. No, not pakka. We want pakva.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, just to make it clear, this is half ka and va. Pakvavati. We want it like this, not double K.
Okay.
Then aham prashnam prishtavan. Okay, correct. Then vayam phalani khaditavantaha. Good. All Strilinga. If it is all Strilinga, what do you want to use? Anyone? Khaditavati is ekavachanam. Here we want bahuvachanam.
Oh, khaditavanti.
Nadi.
Khaditavantaha.
Khaditavanta is pullinga bahuvachanam. But if khaditavatyah, like nadyaha. Nadi nadyav nadyaha. So we want the last one to be khaditavatyah. Okay, next one. Saha granthalayatah agatavan. Correct. Te nagare. Vasanti is the word. Mahoday, where did you get this one? Ashitavantaha. No, it's almost good. Maybe it's a typo. Or
उषितवन्तः महोदय
Ushitam. Ushitam.
Ashitavanta.
Instead of U, it becomes a. Ushitavantaha. There is a slight change here. That it's a va here. Va, when in Bhuta Kridanta Rupa, it becomes U. Ushitavan, Ushitavantaha, like that. Ushitavati, Ushitavatyaha. And Kaha, Yaha Kada Vrushti Patate Sma. Yeah, these are the sentences using the Sma. Which is a good effort here. Yaha Kada Vrushti Patate Sma, Aham Graham Agachami Sma. Here Kada, you are tried to use Kada Yada, which not exactly come out properly, but that's okay for now. Aham, that we are going to look at the examples in our lessons further with the Kada. Because you see here, when you are using Kada, remember that this Kaha, Kada, they are not used in the sense of what is used here is when. So they are used actually in the sense of question. When we are questioning, then use Kada. For example, we can ask, if we say, Kada vrishtihi patati sma, then the question is, when was the rain falling? That is the question. So, when there is a question, then we use Kaha, Kada, Kutra, all these words starting with Ka, Kaha, Ka, Kim, Kada, Kutra, Kutaha, all these words with starting with Kaha, Ka, Kada like this. They are used when we want to ask the question. But here we have a statement here. There is no question. When yesterday, when rain was falling, I was coming home. There's a statement. There is no question. So we are not going to use Kada. So how to form this sentence? We'll see it shortly. Then Aham Khaga Pashyami Sma. Here also Kada is used. Te Nadyaha Chananti Sma. Okay. When they are walking from the river. Okay. Anyone else? What was your sentence, Sharda?
They were kind of the easy ones. Aham Ada Namaha. It's hard for me to read, I'm sorry. Ada Nam Gachami Sma. I was using the Sma part. Saha Chitram Pushayati Sma.
Yeah.
Aham Puchama Buddha Smu.
Now I opened it here.
It was Ganesha.
Yeah.
I was saying I was putting flowers at the feet of Ganesha.
Yeah, I have opened your homework in another window here.
Oh.
So, yeah, these are simple ones which are good here. Like for example, first one you have written Aham Udyanam Gacchami Sma. Great. Then we have Saha Chitram Pashyati Sma. Aham Pushpam Padeshu Ganeshasya Sthapayami Sma. Very nice. Sa Jalam Pivati Sma. Guruhu Haha Gayati Sma. Good. Simple ones. Yeah. Pratakale Shishuroditi Sma. Yes. Now this one is Suresha Mama Mam Avayati Sma. Kintu Aham Na Shrunomi Sma. Yes. Okay. Good. Veena, do you have any sentence with Sma?
No, I haven't done
Okay.
that song.
Can you form one now?
Nartaki, Nartaki. Oh, how would say dance academy?
Nritya.
Nrityalaya. Gachati.
Sma. Nrityalayam gachati Sma. Uttamam. Now, then what is the next one? Varishyati, Varishyati, Karishyati, Vadayati. Now, what is this one? Vadayati, like it is like Pujayati. So, what is this one? Bhavishyat Kala of Pujayati.
Pratishyati.
Puja. Like we have the row 31 here. If you see column N, this one, Pujayishyati, right? Pujayishyati. Puja, it is not Puja is there, so Pujayishyati, not Pujishyati. Pujayishyati. So what should be this one? Vadayati.
Vadayishyati.
Vadayishyati. Vadayishyati. Samarha Veenam Vadayishyati. Maheshah Karyakrame Nartishyati. Kim? Antaram Gasyati, Agamishanti, Suchayishyati, Aneshyami, Melishyamaha. Yes, all are good. Gamishyami. What about this one? Anyone?
The second one.
Vayam Društavantah. This is in the Bodha Kritanta. What is the Bhavishyat Kala for that? Anyone? Mangala Bhagini?
S.
What is Ma Sharda?
I can only spell it. I'm not sure I can say it. It's S. Kashama. Kashamaha.
Pashyamaha is the present tense. Now we want the future tense here. Bhavishyat Kala.
So Drakshamaha.
Did I do it wrong?
So what should it be?
Drakshamaha.
Drakshamaha. Okay. Not a Dri. It is Drakshamaha. So I think is it here? Drashya. If you see that row 24 here, you see a Drakshati, Drakshanti, Drakshami, Drakshamaha. Bhavishyat Kala. Lekishyati, Krishyati. Then this one, actually, the question is not correct. So I also updated the content of the book recently. But content means just remove this, not much update, or replace this with some other thing. But so in your book also, you just strike this off. Do not use this because this Kurdati has a different form. It's Atmanepadi. Simhaha Garjati. So Garjishyati, okay. Vadanti, Vadishyanti. Now Tvanta, yeah, Aham Chitramandiram Gatva Chitram Pashyami. Yeah. Bhavan Asene Upavesya Dugdham Pibati. Bhavati Astam. What happened here? Kshalaya Bhojanam Karoti. Why is it Kshalaya? Where is Tva here? It should be either Tva or it should be like a lep. Now here, are you trying to put lep, Mahodaya?
Yes, yes.
So when will that lep applicable? When is the lep applicable?
When you say then, something happens.
When happens? Sorry.
When something happens and then the next thing happens after that.
Yeah, but when is the twa applicable? When is the lep applicable? Here you see lep, right? Lep. That lep means the ending ya. Upavishya. So the meanings are same. Meaning means the when they are used. Something happens after something. But when there is upasarga. So here is there upasarga? When there is a kshalaya. Shalayati is the present tense. Bhavati, here also make a dirgha. Bhavati astam shalayati. In that case, is there upasarga? There is no upasarga, right?
No,
Shalayati.
no.
Shalayati is the basic dhatu, basic kriyapadam. There is no upasarga. So if you look here, if pra is added, then there is a upasarga.
Yes, sorry for that.
That's fine. So what happens here? Shalaya, shalayitva. Like we have here is another like pujayitva, shalayitva, vadayitva, chorayitva. Like this is like pujayati. So we need that pujayitva. Here also shalayitva. Then saha vahanam. What happened here? Apanam gacchati.
I think I missed that upasarga thing.
There is no upasarga here. Chalayitva. So chalayati, like saha vahanam chalayati, anantaram saha apanam gacchati. So here chalayati, then there is no upasarga. So just the chalayitva. Harinaha vatsam ahvayati anantaram trunam khadati. So here ahvayati, there is upasarga This is correct. Ahuya trunam khadati. Jaya Geetam Geetva Nrityati. Good. So, anyone, Veena, can you split this into two sentences? Like we split this into two. Harinaha Vatsam Apayati. Anantaram Harinaha Trunam Khadati. We don't need to say Anantaram. Harinaha Vatsam Apayati. Harinaha Trunam Khadati. Like that, can you split this into two sentences?
Jaya Geetam Jitva and then Jaya Nritya.
Jaya Nrityati. Correct, but first sentence we want to put the actual kriyapadam. This Geetva is not kriyapadam. Like we did this. Harinaha vatsam afayati. The first sentence, not ahuya. Afayati. So first it calls its staff. Harinaha vatsam afayati. Harinaha trunam khadati. So like Geetva should be what? What is the kriyapadam for Geetva?
Gitayati.
Not Gitayati. Sings. What is the verb?
Gayati.
Gayati. Jaya Geetam Gayati. Jaya Nrityati. Good. Now here Ashokah Prakoshtham Sammarjitva Snati. What is not correct here? Here there is a upasarga, some upasarga. So we want to add lep. So what this should not be twa. So even if it is twa, suppose there is no sum, only there is a marja. So what is the present tense for marja? Marjayati. So if there is only marja, it becomes marjayatva, like pujayatva, chalayatva, like that. Now we are adding the sum upasarga. So sum. So what will it change to? Right? What will it change to? For example, if you look at this prakshalaya, here also we are in prakshalaya. If you look at this one, column AB, prakshalya. Prakshalya. So what will this become? Samarjaya. Jya. Samarjya. Because the last word, last letter, we want to make it half, like prakshalya. When there is a upasarga. So here we have samarjya. Also note that the original kriyapadam is like this, marja. To that we are adding upasarga sam, not sa. We are adding sam. This is the upasarga. So we need to have the double ma here. Sammarja. So double ma. So either you can write it like this, or you can write half like this. Sammarja. Or this is also fine. Or this ma can change to anuswara, like in Sanskrita. Sanskrita also sam plus krita. So there, in case of Sanskrita, we are always changing it to anuswara. We don't write ma here, Sanskrita. Don't write means what? We don't pronounce it as ma. We always pronounce it as anuswara, Sanskrita. But here, in case of Sammarja, optionally we can pronounce it as anuswara, in which case you can write as anuswara symbol there. Or if you want to pronounce it as ma, you write ma and pronounce it as ma there. Sammarja. Sammarja or sammarja. So anuswara is like sammarja. Depending on how you want to pronounce, there is an option here, but not with Sanskrita. There is always it is anuswara. Yeah. Next one, we have Chhatra pustakam drashtva uttaram likhati. Okay. Chhatra prashnam prashtva uttaram likhati. Correct. Ramah vanam here also. Like Chalayatva, Pujayatva, here we have Sthapayati. So this becomes Sthapayitva, not Sthapatva. Sthapayitva. Antaha agacchati. Good. Anything else here? Oh, there is more. Girishaha gruhat nirgatva kridanganam prapnoti. Okay, Mangala Bhagini, is this sentence correct?
Yes, correct, but mine was wrong.
What did you write?
I wrote Girisha Grahat Nirgachaya.
Yeah, there are some corrections here. Anyone?
Yeah, I corrected it now, Mahodaya.
Masharda, is this sentence correct?
I had so much trouble trying to know when to use the Y and when to use the Tvan. I wrote with Tvan, but I don't know if that's correct or not.
You wrote Tva like this?
There's a key to when you use the when you don't use Tvan, and unfortunately I left early last week to get to work, and I forgot to view the thing. So it wasn't until after I had done my homework that I rewatched the deal. So I apologize. I don't think I did it right, but I did it exactly the way this gentleman did.
Yeah, okay. Anyone? Nirmala Bhagini? Girija Bhagini is also there. Anyone? Is this sentence correct? Huh?
Ni is upasarga. Is ni upasargam, Mahodaya?
Yes, ni is upasarga. Here.
So then we may not have this twa.
Yes.
Is that how?
Yes. So here nir is upasarga because nir gatva. So we know that only that part is clear. Gatva. If there is only gatva, there will be gatva. Like gachati becomes gatva. But here we are seeing the nir also additionally here. So obviously the twa won't come there. So we want that y or lep. So how does it become like? Like agachati, if it is agachati, then the lebantarupam kim bhavati, a is the upasarga, agachati becomes lebantarupam kim bhavati. Agatva, it doesn't become agatva because there is a here. So what will it become?
Agatya.
Agatya. The same thing here. There is nir here. So what will it become? Nir. Same thing. Nirgatya.
Oh, okay, I did do that.
Girishaha Gruhat Nirgatya Kridanganam Prapnoti. The next one. Malati, all this should be Dirgha. Malati. Malati Apanam Prapya. So why is it Prapya here?
Pra is the upasargam.
And Apya. So if you want to divide this into two, another thing is Kri should be Dirgha. Kritavati. So if you want to divide this into two sentences, what will it become? Malati Apanam
Praptavati.
Praptavati, correct. Because we want to put in Bhutakala. If it is present tense, it will be Prapnoti. Because here it is Kritavati Bhutakala, we want to put it in the Bhutakridanta, same Kala. Then, so, Malati Apanam Praptavati, Malati Shakam Kritavati. So, no, again, this also should be Dirgha. So, Dirghas are missing. Okay. Next. Narendraha Shakam Kritva Graham Gatavan. This is correct. We don't see any upasarga etc. here. So, Kritva is correct. Gatavan is correct. Maheshaha Prataha. Here. Dhavishyati is okay. That is a. Which tense is Dhavishyati? Present, past, future? Future tense. Bhavishyat Kala. Now, what do you want to say here? Mahoday, what is this? Prataha. What is the meaning of this?
Wake up.
Wake up. Prataha. So here we have Tishthati is a, or Stha is a dhatu. Stha dhatu and the present tense becomes Tishthati. And we want to put the Lebantar Twanta. Now here we see U. U also. Ut as the upasarga actually. Ut is Stha. Ut plus Stha is a dhatu. I think that is on the table here somewhere. Yeah. So there is a Stha here. There is no Ut Stha. There is row number 10. Row number 10, if you see here, Ut Stha, right? So So here you see here, what is the column AB? Utthaya.
Okay.
Utthaya. We want to bring the Lebanta there. Lebant.
Mahodaya, can you just please increase the font size a little, please?
Yeah. The font size here. Yeah. Should I make it 200? Then is it better?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So here if you see column AB.
Thank you, Mahodaya.
Column AB we see Utthaya. Uttastha, Utplastha, Utthaya. But in present tense, if you see, so here present tenses are present tense even in the Bhavishyat Kala is also given Utthasyati, Utthasyati, Uttisthami. I get up, I rise. That is the meaning here. Then what we have? Neela Nritva. Why is it Nritva? Graham Agamishyati. So let's look, is the Nrit here? Yeah. Nrit. Nrityami is there, fine. But what is the column AB? What is the column AB here? Kantarupam.
Titva. Nartitva.
Nartitva. Neela Nartitva Graham Agamishrati. Janaha Devam Pujayitva. This is correct. Bhojanam Kurvanti. Bhavantaha Dware Sthitva Shabdam Kurvanti. Right. Now here it's Kurditva. Kurditva. Di. And Dirgha O. This comes Ku.
Okay.
Ku and Di. Kurditva. Then Vayam Bhantam Suchitva Graham Agachamaha. Right. Here also Kridanti. This should be Dirgha Kri. Dirgha Kridanti. Done? Okay. Good. Any question?
So, Mahodaya, sorry, I know you said we have 22 upasargas, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we need to know, because that's why I get confused. Like, I do understand sometimes when you have the upasarga is there, because the other one is the verb, which can be used for something else. But sometimes I get confused about the upasargas. So is there a way, like, we can, like, know for sure there's an upasarga?
Way means, yeah, I mean, obviously, I will, you can Google it, or also, I have another slide in 2 class, I think, list of upasargas, which I can send it later on. I can also post it in the group, but, yeah, I mean, you can try. I mean, mostly you'll understand by looking at the list of the upasargas. But sometimes it may be confusing. For example, Preshayati, where pra looks like upasarga, but actually, yeah, there is one dhatu where pra is upasarga, it becomes ishayati, Preshayati. But there is also dhatu itself called Preshayati. But mostly you will get it, like they are simple. Like if you know what is the verb, then it is easy to know if there is upasarga, right? Suppose if you don't know the verb itself, if somebody doesn't know Nayami is the verb, and there is a form called Nayami, then it will be not possible to understand that Anayami, A is the upasarga, correct? If somebody doesn't know Gacchati is a verb, then whether A is a upasarga, you won't know. So, and anyway, so I'll send the list of the upasarga.
Thank you.
So the only way that you know if something uses a w sound as opposed to the j sound, twa sound, is you just have to look it up every time. There isn't like a general rule.
You're cutting with, I can't completely hear.
Oh, when you're trying to figure out whether someone gets a twa or ya, you have to just look it up every single time. There's no general rule.
So what I heard is, is there a way to know when to use twa and when to use ya, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean this is the rule. When there is upasarga, we do not want to use twa. When there is upasarga, that is a additional prefix behind the verb word or the kriyapada, the word indicating the kriyapada. Then if there is upasarga, we want to use that lep or y. If there is no upasarga, then we should not use y. Like this. This is like a standalone. There is no upasarga. There is no a, there is no ni, there is no pra, there is no vi, etc. So this is just a standalone pure verb word. This is not actually verb. This is a namapadam, but this indicates the action. Gatva. So we do not want to use, or we should not use y here. But here we have the upavishya. Upa is the upasarga.
Right.
If there is no upasarga, what would this become? Bhavan asane. Here, if you look at the list here again, what is the dhatu you should know? Dhatu here is vish. Vish is the dhatu.
Okay.
Vish is the dhatu. So if this, without the upasarga, what will it change to? We just want to add the twa.
Okay, I see. Now I see. I was thinking, when I was reading it, I was thinking, okay, so it starts with a vowel, but that was incorrect. So, okay, thank you.
So if this, what is the, we want to add twa here, so what will it become? So that one you can look up. So in the, what is the twa form, you can look up. For example, either, not all of them are here. This is very, for example, wish is here, 42. Okay? Wish. So if you look at AB, column AB, so you see wish twa. Wish twa. Just the twa is added there. But if there is upa is being added there, then it becomes upavisha. Upavisha is also here, column 11. Sorry, row number 11. So here we do not add twa, we are adding y. Yeah, upavisha.
Okay.
Now, the twa form itself, you can look up in the dictionary or the dhatu kosha. There are many dhatu koshas. One I have provided for the download. Right. So let me try to show it, one of them. Do you see this? This is the one which is available for download. If another dhatu kosha also, it might be available. I don't know, but this one you see here, For example, there is a dhatu called chi. Now the present tense etc. is given here, chinoti etc. Then now there is an entry called IP here. So this is the twa format, chitwa. Okay. Similarly, it chitwa. Then like chinta, for example, if you say chinta, chintayati, we know that. And is there IP form given here? Yes, chintayitva.
Oh, that's amazing.
Chintayitva. So similarly, if I look at other one, for example, just randomly I'm showing. For example, japati. This is to mutter. So japitva. So you can look up. This is the without the upasarga. Upasargas or the additional prefixes. 22 upasargas are there. So we can just find out. This is the japitva. Additionally, the other in this particular dhatu kosha, you can also find out the bhuta krudanta form. That is the gatavan, etc. Gatavan, drashtavan. How do we look up that? We don't see that gatavan here or van here, but you see the PP form here. PP has a japita, so japitaha. So to find out the bhuta krudanta form, you just remove this visarga and add van or vati. For pullinga add van, for strilinga add vati. For example, japitavan. Don't use upasarga. So that becomes the bhuta krudanta form. So you can look up for anyone. For example, jalp, next one, let's say marmar. Jalpati. Jalpati murmurs or just talks without any sense. Chats, like chatting. Jalpati. So here we have jalpitaha. So here you can add the van. Jalpitavan means one who murmured is jalpitavan. No, note here that IP is not given here. So jalpitva or something, because maybe that who wrote this, who compiled this might be thinking this is very easy. So some of them, so for some you don't see IP. Okay. G, Jayati, see Jayati. So if you scroll down here, you see IP, Jitva. But PP, you see Jita for bhuta krudanta and Vanvati, Jitavan, Jitavati. Right. I just searched some internet here, Google. Upasarga list you can find here. So just you can just Google, you can find it. So Dvamishati, I think there is a Wikipedia page also for this Upasarga. You can find anywhere. Dvamishati, 22 Upasargas. Pra, para, apa, like apagachati. You can, samgachate, anubhavati. So this is a when you and this list here, you can add to most of the dhatus, but their usage in different cases and their meanings might change. So be careful. We cannot just keep on adding this blindly to any kriyapadam. But this is a 22. and with some examples are given here, which might be helpful. Okay, good enough.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mahodaya, the examples that you showed now, which website is that?
I just searched. I googled it. I googled 22 upasargas, and it came up the top.
All right. Thank you.
You can Google 22 upasargas. Two upasargas. Then it came. So good one. Agacchati. Good examples are given. Even with the gacchati also we can use. With adi are given two examples. Gacchati also we can use udgacchati, anugacchati. Different examples given there. We generally gacchati, we don't see it. We have viharati, vismarati, we have praharati, paripalayati, paripruchati, avagacchati is there. Adhigacchati is also there, adhivasati, samgacchate, samgannati, samharati, nissarati, para. So note that here nikshipati. With ni itself there are like three here. Ni, nis, nir. So here nikshipati, nissarati, niyungte. I don't see any example of nir here. So nir we know, nirgacchati, right? Nirgacchati. Or nirmati. You know nirmanam, nirmana. Nirmana means construction. Nirmati. There also nir is there. So nir, I don't know, a nir example is not given. Yes, upasargartha. And this is one, if it, yeah, this good, you can download it. If you are interested in detailed upasarga study, this is a good book with the different, and there is a download option available there. So you can download, and it's very, with every dhatu, or actually with, this is arranged by upasarga. With every upasarga, you can see, for example, this one, if you see. You can see here, with every upasarga, trying to show different words. So here, so here, for example, you see sam plus vrit, samvrit. So this may not be the 100% covering all the dhatus, but many of them are there. Like sam, with the starting with the sam upasarga, there are many examples with the other kriyapada dhatus are given, like samvrutta, and examples are also given here from older books. Some of you may not easily understand the meaning, but anyone like seriously into this is a good reference book. And there is a link also here for this, where this book is available on archive.org. And this are multiple volumes. It's not one volume. There are like, I think, five volumes are there. If you want, you can download. Nivedita2015.wordpress. Okay, shall I proceed?
Yes,
Got left. Okay, now we are coming to the next type of what happened? Now we studied the adding the twa, lep, kavatu. So what are these type of words or pratyayas are called? These are krit pratyayas. And these are called krit pratyayas. Krit pratyayas are added to dhatus and they form a pratipadikam. Dhatuhu plus krit pratyaya equal to pratipadikam. Correct? Then pratipadikam plus supratyaya becomes, what does it become? No, namapadam. So pratipadikam is the base word, like Rama, Sita, Lata, Nadi, those base words. And to that we add supratyaya. Supratyaya is a set of pratyayas. Those 21 pratyayas are there. Supratyayas are how many? 21 supratyayas are there. One for each vibhakti form. So there are 7 rows in the vibhakti table and 3 columns. So 7 into 3. So there are for each position in that table, vibhakti table, there is a supratyaya. So total there are 21 supratyayas. So this supratyaya is a set of supratyayas, 21. So one of the supratyayas is added to pratipadikam, the base word, and that will turn into that particular form of that vibhakti in the ekavachana, dvivachana or bahuvachana. So for example, if we take Rama as the pratipadikam, so we add the first supratyaya of prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. What is that supratyaya? That is a matter of the grammar. So then this becomes Rama plus that prathama vibhakti ekavachana supratyaya. One of the 21 supratyayas is added to Rama, and that becomes Ramaha. So just for the understanding sake here, so that supratyaya is su. Or actually it is su, like this. And there is a nasal, it's a nasal word, su. So Rama plus su becomes Ramaha. This is the one of the 21, or the first supratyaya in that group 21. And it is added for any pratipadikam to derive the prathama vibhakti ekavachana form. So the same supratyaya, prathama vibhakti su, is added to Sita also, Nadi also, any pratipadikam you take, you add that, and finally it turns into its prathama vibhakti ekavachana form. Then Sita you add su, then it becomes Sita. Because prathama vibhakti ekavachana of Sita is Sita only, correct? Nadi is Nadi only. But other ones like Harihi, we have Hari, starting with the Hari. Then you add Sum, then it changes to Harihi. And similarly, Pitru is a Pratipadikam. Then you add Sum, it changes to Pita. Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam for Pitru is Pita. Okay? So this is just if anyone wants, or further whenever you want to get into grammatical derivations, this basic knowledge will be helpful. Then dhatu plus krut becomes pratipadikam. Krut is also a group of krut pratyayas. Krut is a collection of pratyayas, and they are added to only dhatus, and that becomes pratipadikam. This example, one of the krut pratyayas. How many krut pratyayas we know so far? Anyone remember? At least for the twa we know. The twa is the one of the krit pratyayas. Lep. And also we know ktavatu. Ktavatu. So these are the some of the krit. There are like more than 150, even 160 like krit pratyayas. It's a group of krit pratyayas, and they are added to dhatus in different senses to make a different meaning. So that twa, for example, you add to gam dhatu, it becomes gatva, in the meaning of after doing that action indicated by that dhatu. Here the action indicated by gam dhatu is going. So gatva means after going. Lep is added in the same sense after performing that action, but it is added to dhatu when there is upasarga, which we just saw, like a plus gam agatya, a plus gam plus lep. So in place of twa, lep is added, so it becomes agatya. Then the ktavatu is added. Note that gatva and agatya, both these are avyayam. They are namapadam, but they are avyayam. Avyayam is also a namapadam. Now, ktavatu we can add to gam. When you add gam plus ktavatu, what does it become? It is a bhuta krutanta form.
Gatvan.
First it becomes gatavat. This is the pratipadikam. Gatavat is the pratipadikam. Now, this is the pratipadikam like Rama. Now, to get one of those 21 forms of the vibhakti table, like Rama also has the 21, like Ramaha, Rama, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Raman. So to Gatavat also we need to add one of the 21 pratyayas to get a certain form in that vibhakti table. So just like Rama I just now showed, Rama plus Su becomes Ramaha. So similarly, Gatavat plus Su becomes Gatavan. How it becomes Gatavan? When we add same Su, the pratyaya doesn't change. The Su pratyaya doesn't change. So when we add same Su to Rama, it becomes Ramaha. But when we add the same Su to Gatavat, it becomes Gatavan. So why it doesn't become Gatavataha like Ramaha? So that is a different matter. That is the subject of grammar. It's a process or derivation. The Su will change to something, and then it becomes Ramaha. Then it becomes something. Then it becomes Gatavan. So that is all the subject of study of grammar. But right now you understand that the process is, the basic steps are same, or at least at the conceptual level, high level, it is the same. Now the dhatu plus krit pratyaya becomes pratipadikam. So there are hundreds of krit pratyayas are there. So just like 3 of the examples we have seen here. One of them is kta, lep. When we add them, it becomes avyayam. But when we add ktavatu, it becomes a visheshanam, or a namapadam actually, gatavat. And that is used as a visheshanam. It is not avyayam. And because it is visheshanam, it can be in all the lingas and all the vachanas, all the vibhaktis also. Gatavan, Gatavantav, Gatavantaha, and then in the Strilinga it becomes Gatavati, Gatavatyav, Gatavatyaha. In the Napumsaklinga also there are forms, like Bhavan, we have Bhavat, Bhavati, Bhavanti, like Gatavat, Gatavati, Gatavanti. In that we have the forms in Napumsaklinga also. If there is like Mitram, so for example we want to use Mitram is a Napunsakalinga Shabda we know. For example, Gatwan, something which is live, generally use Gatavat. Right? So when we say Bhavan Gatavan or Bhavati Gatavati or Balakah Gatavan, Balika Gatavati, what if it is Mitram? Mitram we generally use for, that's the general word we use for Snehitaha, which is Mitram, that is a friend. But Mitram is Napunsaklinga. So how do we say? Friend has gone. So how do we say that? Mitram, we are not going to use Gatavan, so we are using Gatavat. Mitram Gatavat. Okay? Because that is a Prathama Purusha, not Prathama. Prathama Vibhakti, Ekavachana form of Gatavat is Gatavat only. Gatavat. Mitram Gatavat. So the next here we are looking at another Krit Pratyaya. This is the Tumun Krit Pratyaya. Tumun. Tumun is a Krit Pratyaya. And the words ending in Tumun, they are called Tumunnanta. Tumunnanta Padam. Tumunnanta Padam. Just like previously, the words ending with the somebody has to mute. Tvanta. If it is ending in Tva, so we get the Tvanta. That is Tva plus Anta. Anta means ending. So Tva plus Anta, Tvanta. The words ending in Tva, they are called Tvanta Padam. So like Gatva, Shrutva, Patitva, they are all Tvanta Padam. Tvanta Padani. Because they are ending in this Krit Pratyaya. Tva. Okay. So Jai Mahoday, either you have to mute or eliminate that noise. Dhanyawad. Then similarly, if it is ending in, let's say, the other one, what is the lep. So if it is ending in lep, so we have lep plus anta. These are called lebanta padani. Because lep plus pa plus there is a pa plus there is a sandhi happening. Sandhi means the pronunciation of pa changing to ba. Lebant. You don't say lepant. Lep plus anta becomes lebant. The words ending in lep pratyaya, they are called lebanta padani. So the one we saw with the upasarga like agatya, what are the other ones we saw? Sammarja. So these are all lebanta padani. Similarly, the words ending in tumun pratyaya, they are called tumunnanta padani. Tumunnanta padam or tumunnanta padani. So what is tumun? This is like a reverse of twa or lep. When was the twa used? Twa or lep, whenever they used, in what sense? When the one action is finished and next action is performed. So in that case, twa is used. For example, aham vidyalayam gatva pustakam pathami. For example, aham vidyalayam gatva pustakam pathami. Or aham graham gatva nidrami. So aham graham gatva nidrami. In that case, there are two separate actions happening. Aham graham gacchami, aham nidrami. So nidrami means I sleep. So aham graham gacchami. So first time I am going to go to the house. and then aham nidrami, I'm going to sleep. The two different actions are happening there. Aham graham gacchami first, and aham nidrami next. So the aham graham gacchami action has to complete first, and then after that aham nidrami, sleeping, has to start first. Both are not going to happen simultaneously. So in that case, the lep or twa is used, and mostly in the karta or the subject or the who is performing both the actions, first action, second actions, they are the same. Aham graham gatva aham nidrami. Mostly I'm saying. There are some examples or sentences, instances where you can find the karta could be different, but generally let's assume that they are the same. Aham graham gatva nidrami. Ahameva nidrami. I am going to sleep. Not somebody is going to sleep. No, somebody else. So aham graham gatva nidrami. So gatva means gachana, gamana kriya, going action is complete first and nidra is happening later. Now the tumun, you see here, tumun is the reverse. Now same thing is similar construct here. Examples are here. For example, mitram agacchati, friend comes. Then what is happening? Mitram maya saha milarti. Suppose agacchati means what? Come. Coming action is happening first, and milati means what? Melana. Meeting action is happening later. So how do we join these two sentences? Mitram agacchati, mitram maya saha milati. Friend comes, and after that he meets with me. Then how do we combine? How do we add these two sentences into one? Anybody? Girija Bhagini? Sharda.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to take the first verb and make it into the ending would be tum.
No, forget tum.
Oh, so sorry.
I'm just now already what we have learned so far. Mitram agacchati means is coming. He is coming, and that is happening first. And then mitram maya saha milati. After that, after coming, he is going to meet with me. He meets with me. So now how we are going to come in? This way I have seen already with twa left.
Yeah.
So how are we going to?
Mitram agachatva. I don't know what the maha is.
Maya means with me.
Oh, okay. Maya
Maya saha, with me.
With me. Mitri. You only have to change the first verb.
Yes,
and leave out the second word, friend, because you've already got him in as your subject.
Right, correct, exactly. So, what is the correct sentence?
Mitram agachatva. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone else you're speaking.
Yeah, Sharada, you tried it, correct, but we need the correct word there. Girija Bhagini.
Melitum.
No. Tvartum. Don't use tum. What she said, Sharada Bhagini said, Mitram agacchitva, something she said, agachatva, maya saha milati. So, is that correct?
Mitram agachatva
maya saha milati.
It seems correct, Mahodaya.
Okay. Next one. Nirmala Bhagini.
Mitram agatya Maya milami.
Maya saha milati. Mitrameva milati. Milamina. Milati.
Milati.
Second one doesn't change. Second one doesn't change because Mitram is performing the action. No, I am not performing the action. Mitram, Aham is not performing the action. So Mitram is performing the action of Melanam also. So Milati doesn't change. So that is correct, as Mahasharda said. But the first one, we need the Agatya. Remember, not Agachatya. Agatya, because it is A is a Upasarga. Mitram Agatya Maya Saha Milati. That is how we construct. This can be combined like that, no problem. Mitram first comes and he meets with me. So again the combination, if you use Twa, it remains same. Mitram Agatya Maya Saha Milati. Correct. Now, but we want to put this Milati first, which is happening later. Okay. So this action is happening first. This action is happening second, after the first action. So Agachati is happening first, Milati is happening second. So if you want to use Twa or Lep, then there is no change, which you already learnt. The first one get the Twa or Lep. If it is a Upasarga, we get Lep. So it becomes Mitram Agatya Maya Saha Milati. So that doesn't change. Now, but if we want to put this Milati in the first part and Agachati in the second part, then this one will get the Tum, not the Twa. Mitram Maya Saha Melitum Agachati. What this means? Melitum means to meet. Mitram, friend, Maya Saha, with me, Melitum, to meet, Agachati, comes. Note that here Agachati, which is happening when it is happening. It is happening first, correct?
Yes.
Jai Mohdaya. Agachati is happening first. Melan is happening later. So here also the sequence is same. Sequence of actions is same. Why is he coming? That is why we are asking here. Mitram agachati, kimartham agachati. Why is he coming? He is coming to meet. So meeting is happening next, right? Coming is happening first.
Yes.
Mitram maya saha melitum agachati. So here also the sequence of actions is same, but what is the action happening later, we are putting it first. In that case, that is getting the tum as the pratyaya or the suffix there, affix. So when we add tum, this melati changes to melitum. So I just want to show you how did we combine the sentence or what question did we ask here. Here we are asking, in case of tuman, we are asking kimartham. But in case of twa, what did we ask there before? What did we ask? Can you remember? Before I scroll up. See here, anantaram, right? Balakah mitram ahvayati, antaram kim karoti? That was the question. The same thing we can ask here also. Mitram agachati, anantaram kim karoti mitram? We can ask, correct? If we ask anantaram here, means later. Anantaram means what? Later. Afterwards. So if we ask anantaram question, mitram agachati, anantaram kim karoti, then we can combine them with the twa only or left with on this first one. Mitram agachati, anantaram saha mitram maya saha milati. So if you want to combine, we can do the same thing. On the first action, we can use the twa or left. Mitram agatya maya saha milati. Now we are asking the question, kimartham? Mitram agachati, kimartham agachati? Why is he coming? Now thus we have to put the second one here in the tum. Why is it coming? To meet. To say to meet, we are saying the melitum. To meet means for the purpose of meeting. Mitram maya saha melitum agacchati. Why is it coming? For the purpose of meeting. So to indicate that for the purpose of doing something, we use the tum. When did we add twar lep? Twar lep, where did we add? When did we add? To indicate after doing that action, right? After doing that action, we added twar lep. But here, for the purpose of doing that action, we are adding tum. The difference between twa, lep and tum is this. What? We add twa and lep to the dhatu to indicate after doing that action, like gatva, drishtva, militva, likhitva, krutva, after doing that action. But here we are adding tum to indicate to do that action or with the purpose of doing that action, like melitum. Similarly, we have here gantum. Gantum means for the purpose of going or to go. So what is our example here? Chhatra syutam grihannati means what is the meaning of chhatra syutam grihannati? Jai Mode.
The student, the female student takes the bag.
Takes the bag. Female student takes the bag or holds the bag. Kimartham, why? Because chhatra vidyalayam gacchati, for the purpose of because she goes to school. So here grihannati, taking up, is happening first, gacchati is happening later, right? She is going later. So chhatra vidyalayam gantum, for the purpose of going to the school, she takes the bag. Note that here also taking the bag, this action is happening first, then only she is going. Next one. Anybody want to read these sentences?
This one.
Okay,
Veena Bhagini is become very silent.
Can I read, Mahodaya?
Yeah.
अर्चकः नदीं गच्छति किमर्थम् अर्चकः स्नाति
Snati means
taking bath.
Yeah, takes bath, bathes.
अर्चकः स्नातुं नदीं गच्छति. व्याघ्रः मृगं मारयति किमर्थं व्याघ्रः मृगं खादति. व्याघ्रः खादितुं मृगं मारयति. मित्राणि गृहं गच्छन्ति किमर्थं मित्राणि क्रीडन्ति. मित्राणि क्रीडन्तुं गृहं गच्छन्ति. भवन्तः कथां शृण्वन्ति किमर्थं भवन्तः हसन्ति. भवन्तः हसितुं कथां शृण्वन्ति. छात्राः प्रश्नं पृष्टवान् किमर्थं छात्रः उत्तरं ज्ञातवान्.
Any question here so far? Any all the meanings of understood of these words? Vyaghraha, mrugaha. Okay, assume yes. Next.
छात्रः उत्तरं ज्ञातुं प्रश्नं पृष्टवान्। अश्वः धाविष्यति। किमर्थम्? अश्वः जलं पास्यति। अश्वः जलं पातुं धाविष्यति। बालिकाः नृत्तिष्यन्ति। बालिकाः नृत्तिष्यन्ति। किमर्थं? बालिकाः सन्तोषं प्राप्स्यन्ति. Is that correct, Mahodaya? प्राप्स्यन्ति. बालिकाः सन्तोषं प्राप्तुं नर्तिष्यन्ति. Yes, sorry. नर्तिष्यन्ति.
So the first few sentences here are simple. I mean, just the examples here. Chatra syutam grunati, that is Archaka nadim gacchati. Why does he go? Archaka snati. With what purpose? To bathe. Archaka snatum, for the purpose of bathing. Nadim gacchati. Vyaghraha mrugam marayati. Tiger kills the animal. For what? Vyaghram mrugam khadati. Tiger eats the mruga. So to eat the mruga, it's it. Now, similarly, the Bahuvachana example is given here. Mitrani graham gacchanti, kimartham mitrani kridanti. Mitrani kriditum graham gacchanti, to play. Now, bhavanta katham shrunvanti, kimartham bhavantaha asanti. Bhasitum katham shrunvanti, to laugh, you listen to the story. Now, the next, so far in these sentences, present tense have been used here. For example, grannati, gacchati, agacchati, milati, snati, gacchati, mareti, khadati, gacchanti. These are shrunvanti. Now, this one, chatraha prashnam prishtavan, here bhuta kradanta is being used, assuming that this is a bhuta kala. Chatraha prashnam prishtavan means he asked the question, kimartham chatram uttaram jnatavan. Then he knew the answer. Means after that he got the answer. He first asked the question, after that he got the answer. So now if you want to combine this, we can combine this with chatraha uttaram jnatum prashnam prishtavan. Okay. Now if we want to add with the twa, then we change this first part, right, for the twa. Second part we don't change. So prishtavan with the twa becomes prishtva. Chatram prashnam prishtva uttaram jnatavan, if you use the twa. But now we want to put this first. For what purpose we are asking? Uttaram jnatum, to know the answer, he is asking the question. Chatraha uttaram jnatum prashnam prishtavan. For the purpose of knowing the answer, or with the purpose of knowing the answer, he asked the question. So the purpose of this example is that using the bhutakala also, we can just like the twa also, we have the similar examples that two actions which are in the present tense can be combined. Two actions which are in the past tense can be combined with the twa. Two actions with the future tense can be combined with the twa. Similar examples are given here. So what this means is basically chatra uttaram jnatum prashnam prishtavan. Which is happening first, which is happening later. Prishtavan is happening first, jnatam is happening later. So when we add twa with the twa, prashnam prishtva uttaram jnatavan. So before knowing, here knowing is also happening in the past only. But even before that, his question is happening. Action of questioning is happening. in the past only. Both are happening in the past. But this one is relatively recent because this is even before this action of knowing. So that is what it means actually. Here also, Chhatraha Uttaram Jnatam Prashnam Prushtavan. So which is happening first? Action of question. Questioning is happening first. And that is in the past. Right? And related to this Jnanam, the one which is indicated by Tumun, Jnatum, is happening later, in the future, compared to this first action. So they are time relative. Whether we use Dva or Tumun, they are relatively, the actions are happening in the time relatively. The first action, second action. So whether it is in the past, both are in the past, both are in the future, both are in the present. So one is preceding the other. Remember that. So same thing is here. Ashvaha dhavishyati. Here it is future tense. Ashvaha jalam pasyati. It will drink in the future. It will run in the future. It will drink the water in the future. So both are happening in the future tense or future kala, bhavishyat kala. But one is happening after another in future itself. So here Ashvaha jalam pasyati is happening later. Right? So Ashvaha jalam patum dhavishyati. So dhavana kriya, running action is happening in the future, and relative to that, the drinking action is happening in future, but after running action is complete. Same thing, we have nartishanti happening in future, prapshanti happening in future. So same thing, nartishanti, praptam. So both are happening in the future, but one is happening in more future than the other one. Okay, so with this we can stop here. We can take this as the homework. What is the homework here? Tumanantarupam upayajya vakyani likatu. Just add that tuman. And the tuman left koshtaka, the table is also given here. Both are here. And also it is also available in this column AC, tuman. Thus, we'll viramamaha adya. We'll stop here today. पुनः अग्रिमसप्ताहे मिलामः. धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः.